Have you ever thought about how you tell if a septic system is leaking?
Today we're going to talk about that. Really simple, but very important.
Before we get into this though, leave a comment down below. When was the last time you had your septic system pumped or inspected? Now, when it comes to a septic system, right, we're going to have at least two pieces. We have the tank and our drain field. Today, we're not going to talk about the drain field. We're only going to talk about the septic tank. Tanks come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Usually they're rectangular, sometimes they're square, and sometimes they're oval pill shaped. Those ones are the weird ones and they're usually plastic. When it comes to tanks, we basically have four different styles. We have concrete, metal, cinder block, and a plastic or fiberglass style system. The most common that we're going to come across is concrete, but that doesn't mean we won't come across those other three.
Now, things like a concrete tank, typically they come in sizing of 750, 1000, 1250, 1500, and 2000 gallons. The other varieties also come with those as well, but concrete tanks are precast. They're made off-site and brought on to the property once the hole is dug. Typically, you've got two variations of a concrete tank. You have a mid-seam tank and a top-seam tank. What that means is, on a concrete system, the bottom half and the top half are built separately and then joined together at the property. Typically, there's going to be a seal of some variety that makes it to where it's watertight, but it'll be in the middle, right? Mid-seam, makes sense. The top seam will have the lid up top and the seam will be above the water line. So basically think about it like this, where you have 95% of your tank, which is the basin, and then you have that 5% up top is the lid.
When it comes to a septic tank, it needs to be watertight. So that means that whenever you put water in, water can't get out. Mind-blowing, I know, wild. But when it comes to a system, that doesn't always work out that way. Plastic tanks, they can come in mid-seam, top-seam, one unit. They can come in a variety of shapes and sizes. I'm not a big plastic tank fan, but they're there. They exist. Metal septic tanks, now these are really old. They're usually falling apart and collapsing, and for sure, not watertight. Cinder block tanks, now these are the tanks that are made on site. So essentially what they would do is they would dig the hole, and then they would stack the blocks, and then they would plaster over top of it, and then boom, now you're good to go, you got your tank. These are no longer acceptable in our state. Your state might be different. When it comes to a watertight system, when you open the lid to a tank, the water level should always be about a foot from the top of the tank to the top of the water. That's usually about where the outlet line will be. In a septic tank, you have two lines. You have your inlet line and you have your outlet line. They're gonna be different heights. The inlet line will be higher than the outlet line. The water level should always be at the bottom of the invert of the outlet. What does that mean?
That means it's going to be at the bottom of the pipe. So if we think about the circle, the 6 o'clock position, that is the invert of the outlet. That is the bottom portion of that pipe.
The reason the water level should always be there is because that's where gravity is going to take the water away from the tank. So you flush your water down, the water goes in. Let's just say you put 10 gallons in, right? You put 10 gallons into your 500-gallon tank or your 1,000-gallon tank, doesn't matter. And then that water is going to flow out on an equal volume. It won't discharge at the same velocity, but the volume will work its way out. And the velocity is also why a lot of cast iron piping between like a septic tank and a dry well or septic tank and a distribution box, if you have cast iron pipe, that's why the outlet line always gets gnarly and basically falls apart. Now there's only two ways that a septic system can have a low liquid level. When it comes to us checking the water level, like I said, you want to see about a foot between the two. If you open up the lid and the water level is way too low, let's just say it's 2 foot down, 3 foot down, the only way the water level can go down in a septic tank is either A, you pumped it, or B, it's leaking. If you have a house that's vacant for 2 years, I'm telling you, I've seen them all a bunch where it's still full of water. It's still perfectly fine. One could probably make an argument for a slow leak, but that's how we have to test it a little bit different. Let's just say that we find out that this tank has low liquid level. Well, there's a couple different options we can go with. One, if you haven't pumped it in 6 years, the house is occupied, and the water level's low, a bunch of solids, well, again, it's only leaking or you pumped it, and if you didn't pump it, now it's leaking. The water level can leak in or out of the tank. Again, mind-blowing, I know. Very complicated stuff that we're talking about here.
You're here for the weird ones. So if you have a system where maybe they pumped it, maybe they didn't, they don't remember when they pumped it, or maybe it's an estate sale. This is usually where I see the problem is the estate sale, where the people who are in charge of the estate have no idea what was done on this property.
And a lot of times with that means you have to kind of figure out what to do, and the answer is you fill it back up. I know. Simple. It's super simple. When you have a septic system that has a low liquid level, if you're ever in doubt that it's leaking, you just fill it up. right? Let's just say it's a 1,000-gallon tank. You see that you got about half of the system. You put 600 gallons of water in. Now you might be thinking, well, why would I put 600 gallons if it's a 1,000-gallon tank at the halfway mark? And the reason you do 600 is so that way you can verify that water is flowing through the outlet line. Obviously, sometimes you have to dig up the lid on the back of the tank so that way you can actually see where things are going. But you fill up the system all the way to the invert of that outlet and you let it sit. You let it sit for about a day and then you check it again, right? If you check it after 24 hours and it hasn't moved, you're good. If you check it after 24 hours and it's right back where it started, not so good. The other day I had a system that had a gaping hole about the size of a golf ball dead center in the mid-seam. As soon as you pop open the lid, you could see the water level was low, but you know, to do my due diligence, because it was a vacant house, nobody knows anything about the house, it's a bank-owned property, it's kind of gone all over the place, I filled it up. Now, that particular system backed up, so that means we got issues with the drain fields, but we filled it up, and within a half hour, it fell basically right back down to where it started. So that was a pretty substantial leak. That's an easy way to check it immediately. You fill it up to the correct level, wait, see what it does. The next one's a little bit weirder. That's going to be when water's actually leaking into the tank. This doesn't happen as often, and mostly it's going to be in areas that are by waterways or in a high water table area. The way that you can tell if water's leaking into the tank is you open up the lid on the back of the tank, you watch that invert of that outlet. Remember, very important to do that for if the water's leaking out of the tank. But if you see that there's water flowing and you're not running water from the house, well, that water's getting in there somehow. Typically, we find this mostly going to be in high water table areas, coastal areas, or in the bottom of a valley. I personally don't see this happening very often. It's maybe once or twice a year that you'll come across something like that. I far more often see it where the water's leaking out of the tank and into the surrounding area. If we've already opened up the back side of the tank, we see that the water level's low. Now we know water's leaking out. If we see water flowing and we're not running any water in the house, now we know water's leaking in. What do you do? That's the question. Typically, whenever you have a leaking tank, my advice is replace the tank. But you technically have a second option. That second option is to repair the tank, patch it. Patching a tank is basically where you reseal it. And essentially what you have to do is pump it out and clean it real good to get a good seal. And then you gotta fill it back up. And once you fill it back up, essentially the process is the same. You get it to the correct level and you let it sit for about a day. And you check it again. I personally don't like repairing leaking septic tanks because it almost never works. And you end up spending a lot of money you didn't need to spend, and you end up having to replace the tank anyway. Anecdotally, we recently just had an issue where a few weeks back, we had a system full of roots. They got those roots removed, patched it up, started leaking. Now I warned them, if you patch the tank, there is a chance that that patch doesn't take. You know, you spend a couple $1,000s doing this. Unfortunately, once we went back to do the retest and we filled it up with water, checked it a few days later, come to find out, it's leaking again. Now, you could attempt to patch again, or you just replace the tank. Most people opt not to just patch the tank again because that's a lot of extra money for something that already didn't work once. Typically, it's going to be between 30 and 50% of what a tank would cost to replace. So if you're thinking about fixing a tank that's leaking, personally, I would put that money towards a new tank that you know for sure ain't going to leak. Obviously, when you install a new tank, you could have issues in the installation, so it could be installation errors, but the chances of a top seam tank, especially a modern one, leaking right off the rip, it's not super common unless something went wrong during the installation process. Maybe they dropped the tank too hard, or maybe it was just bad manufacturing. Like, there are things that can cause a tank to leak on install, but usually it's the installation error or a manufacturing error, not just the tank itself deciding it wants to leak. With that being said, septic tanks are supposed to be watertight. If you're not pumping it, that means it's probably leaking. And a leaking tank, in my opinion, you should replace, not try to patch. Now, this only really becomes a problem if you're selling the house or if you're pulling a permit, at least in our state. Your state might be a little bit different, but in Maryland, nobody's knocking on your door asking to look at your septic tank unless somebody complains or you go to sell something. With that being said, leaking tanks are not good. Personally, there's not that much of a difference of it leaking here versus 6 foot over where the drain field is, but that's not where the county permitted it to leak. They permitted it to go into the drain field, and that's where it's supposed to go, not next to the septic tank. If you found this useful, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and as always, I have videos posted every day on the World of Well and Septic. Until next time, guys.